actually, when I did The Departed, I was in this rehearsal in pre-production, and it was just me and Jack Nicholson and Scorsese. And we had a few hours together, and at one point, Marty got up to either use the bathroom or have a cup of coffee or something, and it was just me and Jack in the room. And he turned around, and he goes, "You know, I never would have made it this far in my career if I wasn't a great fucking writer."
Really?
Yeah, out of nowhere. And it was the most, and I went like, and it was like everything clicked into place. And I went, of course, like, how do you have a 40-year career?
Right.
Without being able to put your own kind of imprimatur on something, or, you know, understand.
Fix it.
Yeah, fix it or not touch a comma of it.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? And,
he knew it.
And be more often right than wrong. It's like, it's because he was a great writer. I'll give you one story. I mean, I've probably told you this because it's one of my favorite. It was my favorite thing that happened on The Departed, about a scene that I was not in, but he was. And the scene said, it was 1/8 of a page, and it said, Costello, which is the name of his character, Costello executes man kneeling in the marshes. Right? So you go, okay. Now, if you, most people look at that and they'll go, all right, it's going to be one shot. You know, that's going to be an hour of work, and that's all I'm doing that day or whatever. He looked at that and he goes, okay, I can do that, but I think I can make it better. And so he's telling me this story. He goes, so what I do is, he goes, I come from the Roger Corman school, so I'm not going to add any time, and I'm not going to add to your budget. But instead of a man kneeling in the marshes, I make it a woman. And I go, oh, okay. And he goes, so I'm going to execute a woman, but I'm not going to be alone. I put Ray in the scene with me, and that's Ray Winston, who plays kind of his right-hand man, this brilliant English actor. And he goes, so I put Ray in the scene with me. And I do the thing, and I shoot her in the back of the head, like it says in the script. But if you leave the camera rolling, after she falls, I turn to Ray and I say, geez, she felt funny. Now that's a really sinister thing to say. Because it means I do this a lot, and there's a way people fall.
Right.
And she didn't fall that way. And I go, oh, yeah, I get it, man, I get it. And he goes, now you could end the scene there, but if you leave the camera rolling, Ray steps forward and he reveals that he's holding an axe. He's gonna chop her up.
Oh, man.
Now you could end the scene there. He goes, but if you leave the camera rolling, I turn to Ray and say, wait, I think I want to fuck her again. And he goes, now that's a very sinister line. And I go, I get it. It's really, really, really disturbing. And he says, now you could end the scene there. But if you keep the camera rolling, Ray stops and looks at me. And there's a pause. And I go, ah. He goes, and that's a sinister thing to do because we're making a joke out of this whole thing. And I go, yeah, I get it. He goes, now you could end the scene there. But if you leave the camera rolling, God. Ray says, Francis, you really ought to see someone. And so that's what they did. He took this 1/8 of a page scene and he did all of that.
Yeah.
And they had 2 cameras on it so it could cut back and forth. And what Marty ended up cutting was he shoots her, she falls. He says, geez, she fell funny.
Right.
And Ray looks at him and says, Francis, you really ought to see someone.
Right.
Right. So, but he just gave him all of these options.
Right.
As dark and as sick as you want to go.
Yeah.
And he's playing a psychotic killer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's just, that's what a great writer looks like.
That's right.